Yo, can y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? You hear that? You feel that? I know you gotta hear that and feel that. That's the sound of the Las Vegas Raiders running through the AFC West and the rest of the NFL. Today we are gonna break down each position group, what we expect from the Las Vegas Raiders, turnover wise, fumbles, interceptions, touchdowns. We're gonna break it all down. Unleashed style, baby. Let's get unleashed.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering
We're gonna do this shit.
His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Hey, that fire still burns bright here in Las Vegas.
And one future.
Boys.
Talk about commitment to excellence. Just win, baby. Once a Raider, always a Raider.
Yo, what's good? Shout out to the people in the building. Appreciate you pulling up, rocking with your guy. Like I said, we're going to get into it. We're going to break down the expectations for the Las Vegas Raiders, man. How many touchdowns do we expect from Ashton Genty? How many touchdowns do we expect from Geno Smith? How many touchdowns do we expect from the rookie, Dante Thornton? Or the other rookie, Darian Porter Jr.? Man, we're going to break all that down by position groups and then possibly individual. Trying to fuck with this light right here. Hold up. And then possibly individual groups. So get the comments in. Let me know, man. Who do you think as we go over this? Break it down. Let's get into it. Each position group. If y'all don't know the roster, I don't know where y'all been, but damn, y'all should know the roster by now, right? Please tell me y'all know the roster. Well, if you don't, you're about to find out. Of course, we don't know who's going to be on this roster, right? A lot of moves could be made. We still have one hole to fill. Probably not the best way to phrase that. All right, so let's get into this. Break it down with no glasses. Where the hell are my glasses? That's not gonna work. Son of a bitch. Cause I can't see shit without glasses. So here we go. Let's pull this up. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Y'all gotta look at that for 1 second till I grab the glasses. No, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Woo-wee. All right, man. I apologize. Technical difficulties. All these fucking ads suck. All right, what can y'all see? Look. All right. Change this so I'm in the picture somehow. All right, there we go. Hiding at the bottom. Welcome everybody in the chat. Craig Brewer, what's good, my guy? Unleashing Addiction. Divine Raider Goddess, appreciate you. Welcome pulling up. Love to see new faces in the building. So, Yeah, man, let's get into this. I don't know why it is showing all this shit. What is going on? Come on, man. You're killing me here. You're killing me here. There we go. Let's try that. Why it's showing the whole damn screen, man? How about we just talk about it? All right, here we go. All right, so defensive end, man. Let's start off defensive group, and we'll go backwards from there, right? So defensive ends, what is your expectations? What do you feel Max Crosby's going to get sack-wise, fumble-wise, right? Any interceptions? Charles Snowden. And I'm not going to go through all these guys because we don't know who's going to be on the list, but I'm going to give you who I suggested was going to make this roster, right? On the other side, Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, Andre Carter, I believe, makes this roster. Then you have Adam Butler. You have Jonah Lalu. Possibly Zach Carter. I mean, he's moved up the ranks a little bit. So, defensive front, what is your expectations? Let me know in the chats. GeoMex, what's good, man? What's good? I gotta pull up a way to remember all this shit. Give me 2 seconds. Let's go with notes. That works for me. So I'm gonna start. Max Crosby. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. You know, the fact that he was out last year, didn't get to play, didn't get to be out there with his boys helping his team. I think he's going to be fired up. So I'm hoping he has, you know, coming off an injury, which is a big ask, but I'm hoping he has his best season ever. His best season ever, right, is 14 and a half sacks. I'm going to say 16. I know that's a lot to ask, but I feel with the personnel in the building, right, on that defensive line, there's a lot of questions, but we have Malcolm Kuntz back, and Max Crosby had his best year when Malcolm Kuntz came to life, right? Now, can Malcolm Kuntz still be that threat coming off an injury on the other side? I believe he can. So, Malcolm Kuntz, expectations. What are y'all expectations for Malcolm Kuntz? I'm hoping minimum 10 sacks. That's what I'm hoping for. You know, he had 8 sacks in 9 games. Yes, he's coming off an injury, but he's on a 1-year deal. He's got something to prove, not only to the Las Vegas Raiders, but to all those teams out there that need a defensive end. And we know every team can use a defensive end, right? Especially one that's going off. So he has something to prove. These ads are going to kill me. And I believe he's going to be fired up. So I say minimum 10. I'd like to say 12, right? I'd like to say 12 or 14 caps, you know, high expectations. But I also have this feeling in my gut that Malcolm Kuntz could possibly have a better year than Max Crosby. And hear me out. Max Crosby gets triple teamed. Max Crosby gets double teamed. That's going to leave Malcolm Kuntz one-on-one. Malcolm Kuntz one-on-one, when he was healthy, was a nightmare for tackles. And anybody else, even linebackers, trying to chip him afterwards. So his quickness, his speed, his strength, I think those two alone are going to be nasty. Shout out to the 7 people in the building. Get your comments in. Put a hashtag next to it, please. John Leon, been a minute. Glad to see you dropping back in. So, if Max has, say, 16, Kuntz with 10, that's 26. I'd love to see, you know, somewhere around 6. I think he had, 5.5 last year. 6 to 8 from Adam Butler. Let's do it like this. 6 to 8 from Adam Butler, I think, would be a great number. And we've heard him talk about, right, how he wants to be a 3-down guy. He's been paid the money to be that 3-down guy. I think now's the time, you know, for a guy like Adam Butler to show he's worth, right? Being that 3-down guy constantly. Don't have to come off the field. Whether it's run, whether it's pass. And I feel he can do it. I feel he's that guy. I'm sure the rest of the Raider Nation, let me get a 1 in the chat if you feel like Adam Butler is that dude. 2 if you feel like he's not. But I say 6 to 8 sacks for Adam Butler. Should be a damn good number. We'll go with the lower because I don't want to, bring expectations out. So let's say 6, right? 6 for Butler. That puts us at 30. It's a lot of sacks already. High expectations over here, from your boy Rebel. So we got Crosby, we got Kuntz, we got Butler. Those 3 are off the list. That leaves possibly 6 more, possibly 7. It depends on, how many they keep, 9 or 10. Tyree Wilson, his highest sack total is 5. I believe Tyree Wilson has a breakout year, and I'm going to give him 8 sacks. I feel he has 8 sacks this year. Of course, the nation would love to see him have more than that, and I'd love to see it because I believe that's more than Jalen Carter has had in a season since he's been there. And, we hear all that talk about we could have had Jalen Carter, and I hope Tyree Wilson just shuts that talk up, puts it to bed. Big ass though, right? He had 5.5 sacks, but he's going to get a lot more playtime this year. Could it be in the middle, replacing Christian Wilkins? I feel that should be the spot for him. I've said it, I don't know how many times. I hate to, beat a dead horse, but I've said it over and over again. Tyree Wilson is a run-stopping machine. He has that huge wingspan. He can get in the backfield. He's not the fastest. His get-off has been getting better. His technique is getting better. But he's a powerhouse, right? And everybody says that, you can't constantly win in the NFL with power. You need technique. But I believe he's been developing that. And, coming off the injury that he had was a nasty injury. And if we don't think it was a nasty injury, just look at the Christian Wilkins situation. I keep bringing this up. Everybody says Tyree Wilson is a bust. But he's not getting paid $110 million. And he's played a hell of a lot more than 5 games for that first-round pick. So he's giving us something. It's not what the nation wants, but he's putting it out there. So I hope for 8. I'm going to give him 6. I'm not going to go crazy with it. Like I said, this is no caps, no crazy over expectations. This is what I feel. And if y'all want to chime in, like I said, chime in, man. Let me know what y'all think as we go through these. So that's 4 guys. Like I said, Christian Wilkins don't play. Charles Snowden, I mean, he played almost a whole season last year, right? I think he had more snaps than Tyree Wilson. I do believe he had more snaps than Tyree Wilson. But not a lot of sacks, not a lot of pressures. Had some big plays, some key moments, depending on how much he gets on the field. But the problem is he's behind Max Crosby. So I'm not throwing too much expectations out. If he has 4 or 5, that's a good number for Snowden when you got a guy in front of you playing 97, 98% of the snaps, right? In my opinion. So put it at 4. No, I'll go 2. That's 38. Who else is going to make this team? That's already our front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Is it going to be Leaky Fatu? Is it going to be Zach Carter? Is it going to be, JJ Pegues, Jonah Lalu? But let's just go through it. All those guys I believe are going to make the team. I'd like to see 4 or 5 sacks out of Jonah Lalu. I'll give him 4. I think that's a, pretty questionable number, right? I think we could put in there. JJ Pegues, I don't know how much playing time he's gonna get. If he could get 1 or 2 sacks, man, that's a huge number for us. Pegues, I'll give 2. Big Tank, man. I don't know. Where's he? He's not even on here. Oh, yeah. Oh, so Tonka Hemingway, man. I don't know how much Tonka Hemingway gets on the grass as a rookie, but if he comes out hot right in preseason, is making some noise, he can get some pretty potential playing time with Christian Wilkins being hurt, and if Tyree Wilson doesn't get snaps on the inside, right, on that defensive front, that could definitely help a guy like Tonka Hemingway and JJ Pegues. So let's not go crazy. Let's say we hope those guys get right 2 sacks, which is a pretty big number. And fuck, what was that? That's 44 already. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 guys. So that's our 9 front line. Next we move to linebackers. I've given you my 5 linebackers. I think it's gonna be Pratt. I think it's gonna be Gaynor, Devin White, Landon Roberts, and Tommy Eichenberg. I think not Tommy Eichenberg, Cody Lindenberg, yeah, and Tommy Eichenberg or Jalen Smith. If they want experience, Tommy Eichenberg, unless he has a damn good camp, could be on the way out. I've heard some good things from Jalen Smith. He's a veteran, but like I've said before, do we really have 4 veterans in their late 20s and early 30s as 4 of our 6 or 5 linebackers that we keep? I don't feel that's the right way to go. I think you got to use these young guys. So Landon Roberts, I think he's going to be more of a run stuffer. I don't know how much they're going to blitz our linebackers, but if they do blitz our linebackers, man, I'm hoping it's a guy like Amari Gaynor, right? A little bit quicker. You can put him on that, that strong linebacker position. You can put him in the weak linebacker position, however you want, either side, and let the man go hunt, right? So, E-Rob. I'm gonna say, man, what did Robert Spillane have last year? Anybody know how many sacks Robert Spillane had year? Shout out to the chat, everybody. I'll get to you. I'll catch up. I will. And I can see part of it. Unleashed Raider, appreciate you. Let's go with 2 sacks, man. Let's go with 2 sacks. Jermaine Pratt. I don't know how much he's going to be in the backfield, how much they're going to be trying to blitz this guy. It depends how much they're trying to send him. I say 1 or 2 sacks is probably a good number, right? I think these guys are going to be a lot more in coverage, in that cover 3 defense, an awful lot. So, shit. I don't know how much he's... Yeah, let's go 4 between the 2 of them, right? 4 between the 2 of them. That puts us at 48 sacks. And I don't know how much the rest of these guys get. Cody Lindenberg, I don't think he's going to be used to blitz a lot. I'm going to say 0. Devin White, I don't think he's going to be sent, like I said, that much. So I don't see too many of these linebackers getting sacks. If Lindenberg gets 1, Tommy Eichenberg gets 1, that would be amazing. But like I said, I just don't see him sending these guys when you have a Jermaine Pratt, when you have a Landon Roberts. Don't see him sending those cats, right? What could y'all see? Oh. Yeah, I can go down more. Corner-wise, right? Corner-wise. How many sacks do our corners get? I'm going to say between all 6 of them, 2 is the highest number, right? 2. This is way less than I had last year, bro. I had like 70-something sacks for this team, but everybody got injured. So that puts us at 50 sacks, man. 50 sacks. That's not counting Jeremy Chin, who could be sent a lot, right? Or our slot corner or our nickel in a cover 3. if I think our linebackers can get out to cover, like I've been saying, for the last couple months for 5-10 yards, I don't think that's a problem. You got a safety, free safety back there, roaming the back. Depending on how much they blitz those guys, right? But we'll just stay at 50. I think some of them numbers could have been a little, nah, I don't think they were a little high, actually. We'll bump it up. I'll say 52. Next, we'll go interceptions, interception-wise. Oh, I guess fumbles. Fumbles for this defensive front. I'd like to see 6. I'd like to see 6 fumbles. I don't care who they're from. You have 9 defensive linemen, right, in rotation, possibly 10. You have 5 linebackers out there. I'd like to see 6 fumbles from this defensive front on the quarterbacks, on the linebackers, and I'm not talking past the line of scrimmage. I'm talking behind the line of scrimmage. That would be my number. That's what I would like to see. Chime in. Let me know what y'all like to see. But that's what I'd like to see. 6 fumbles behind the line. I'd like to see another, 3 or 4 past the line of scrimmage. 10 fumbles is an awful lot to ask from a defense. But if you're flying around, like I believe these guys are, we have the speed, right? You have a nasty defensive front, with or without Christian Wilkins. No matter if you guys believe it or not. I'm telling you we do. So I feel, somewhere around 9-10 fumbles would be a huge number. That would be absolutely great for us, right? As a team, not a position group. We'll just link them all together because this is going to take a little longer than I thought doing it like this. Now, corners. Let's break it down. So far, projected starter is Darian Porter with Jacorian Bennett being the backup. I just don't see that being the case, man. I really don't. I know they're going to throw this man into the fire, but do they start him in the slot? Darian Porter. They've been trying a lot of guys at the slot. We talked about this last night. We talk about it almost every night. They're searching for a slot corner. Why there are guys out there that could play that position in free agency we haven't went and got, it's a whole nother show, right? Whole nother show. Jacorian Bennett, Darian Porter. What did I do? Why is this lagging? On the other side, we have Eric Stokes. I don't know what the hell just happened to that. Marion Richardson, right? A guy that wasn't great in coverage last year, but when it came to tackling, when it came to stopping the run, he was our best guy out there, as far as Trayvon Morig, who had over 100 tackles, I do believe, but, he was put in that position a lot more. But for being a corner, right, an outside corner, covering the number 1 man as a rookie, I thought DCam did pretty damn well. And I have real high expectations for this young man going into the season, right? You're gonna get in a cover 3. You're gonna get on the grass. Hopefully not, but we're gonna have those, plays where our defense is on the grass for a long time, and you can't just leave the same guys out there, right? So you gotta have depth. And I feel like it's a good start, right? A young guy that's fast, tall, has good hip movement, understands coverages. I think he's more of a press guy, and I said that before. And I think he was just kind of lost in the scheme that we were running, right? That 4-2-5 that we run a lot last year, cover 2. I think he was just, didn't get enough time in camp, being hurt most of the year. Didn't get enough practice time, so watch out for Marion Richardson, man. I really like this kid, and I think he's going to be special. So if Darian Porter starts, what's your all's expectations for Darian Porter? I don't know why I turned that off when I was using it. Fuck, duh. Man, if he has 2 interceptions, I'm absolutely ecstatic, right? That's me. I don't know how y'all feel. But as a rookie who only has 1 season as a corner, if you get 2 interceptions your rookie year in the NFL, to me that's damn good numbers. Now, pass breakups, I'd like to see him have double digits, right? Whether it be 12, 15, 20. As long as he's getting his hand on the ball, that tells me this young man, knows what's going on. He knows the routes. He can stick to the guy, right? Because if you can't get your hand, if you ain't close enough, you ain't breaking it up. So being able to get your hand up, break up routes tells me that this dude's sticky, and he's gonna be a damn good corner. So I'd like to see the pass breakups be up there. Jacorian Bennett had a lot of PBUs when he was on the grass, and he talked about turning those interceptions into interceptions. Right? How many years will it take for Darian Porter to do that? Because Jacorian Bennett, does he even have any interceptions? Somebody let me know in the chat. How many interceptions does Jacorian Bennett have? And I'll be watching on this side over here that I can't see. Greg Lira, what's good, my guy? I'll get to this chat in a second. One second, and get through some of this. Otherwise, man, these shows end up like 4 hours. So, Darian Porter, I'm going to say 2. Where are we at? 2, his rookie year. Jacorian Bennett, man, this dude is due, right? If he gets on the grass, if they can, possibly squeeze him in to that nickel spot. But if he doesn't earn that nickel spot, is Jacorian Bennett on the trading block, on a cut candidate? That'll be the show for tomorrow. Because I feel some of these guys that if they don't produce in camp, they might be gone before the deadline. There's no reason to pay guys and keep them around if you don't feel they're going to fit, what you're trying to do. And it's nothing against Jacorian Bennett, right? It's just the style of defense that Pete Carroll likes to run, the style of corners that Pete Carroll likes to have. But to me, if a guy like Harper makes it, sticks around and Jacorian Bennett doesn't, that's a loss for us, right? You got to see what this kid is and let him develop going into his 3rd year. But for him, he's got to stay on the grass, man. You got to stay healthy. He hasn't even played a full season in 2 years, so that's not good for Jacorian Bennett, and that doesn't help you stick around a team, in my opinion. So if Jacorian Bennett's on the grass, man, I'd like to see him, again, an interception at least, 1 or 2. Mello Dotson, a kid that I think makes this team. Because we need his speed, right? We need his coverage ability. And I hope he has a damn good camp, man, because whether it's practice squad, whether it's the roster, which will be kind of hard. I think they like some of the guys that we have in the building on this roster when it comes to the corner room, or they would have already made moves, right? In my opinion. So Mello Dotson, I don't think he gets much playtime, but I think he makes this team. On the other side, Eric Stokes. Any interception at this point is better than none for this defense who didn't have a lot. I think all our interceptions was in the linebacker, from the linebacker position. I think Isaiah Powell might have had one. I think Trayvon Morig had 2 or 3. But other than that, right, Jack wasn't hot like he was the year before. We didn't create a lot of turnovers. We were minus 16 in the turnover category last year. And that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Man. So, Eric Stokes, man, I'd like to see 1 or 2. DeCamarion Richardson, same 1 or 2. I think Sam Webb, like I said, makes this team. And Darnay Holmes seems like he's going to be the slot, the slot guy if nothing changes. And I like to see the same thing. So, if we can get, man, five interceptions out of this group, maybe 6, which is a huge number. That means we'd have to have a bunch of hot corners. But I think we can. If this defensive line creates pressure, make some of these young quarterbacks we play, because let's not forget we play a bunch of quarterbacks that are pretty damn young, right? Rookies, second year quarterbacks. A lot of the teams we play, not too many veterans. The veterans we do play, we know pretty well, right? Patrick Mahomes, Justin Sherbert. So I think that gives us an advantage. So we'll go 5, man. I'll go 5 interceptions. I'm going to go 6. Y'all got to have more than 5 interceptions. Come on. Somebody's got to double up, man. There's 6 guys rotating in and out. If we can't have 6 interceptions, that's a fail to me. With this defensive front, with this linebacking core, I'm going to go out on a limb. So, between Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Powell-Mao, Lonnie Johnson, whether it be Thomas Harper, Chris Smith or Trey Taylor, I feel it's going to be Trey Taylor. Between those 4 guys, I think Jeremy Chin, man, playing all over the field like he does, could have a damn good year. 2, maybe 3, right? Interceptions, which would be a damn good year, in my opinion. So I'm going to give him 2, man. I'd like to give him 2. Isaiah Powell-Mao, I'm going to give him 1. Lonnie Johnson, I think he's going to be an X factor. The man's going to play special teams. He's going to make, he's going to be a fan favorite, I think, if this guy can stay healthy, which he's had a problem doing in his career, right? Former number 1, first round pick, almost said number 1 overall. Former first round pick. The guy's just got to stay healthy, right? Availability is the best ability, and if you can't get on the grass because your injuries, then man, not for long, right? NFL stands for not for long. Could be a last chance for a guy like Lonnie Johnson. So I'm looking for him to break out, man. I think in the sneaky defenses we're going to run, in the situations he's going to put him in, I'm going to say Lonnie Johnson has the most interceptions if he's out there the most. I think that dude could be the sleepy, sneaky pick to stay healthy out there and cause havoc, right? Cause havoc. So, Chin 2, Isaiah, let's just go 2, 2, and 2. Let's say we get 6 interceptions from our safety group, which would be unheard of. That's 12 interceptions for the season. And don't worry, I'm going to compare it to some teams last year. Because I know some of y'all are going, there's no way. That's insanely crazy, right? That's way too high. But, hear me out. We'll break it down. So that's what we got for the defense, man. That's my expectations. 50-plus sacks. Close to double digits in fumbles, turnovers from that defensive line. From the rest of the team, half a dozen, man. Half a dozen. I'd like to see 6. That puts us at 16 fumbles. That's probably not going to happen. But damn if it does, right? Interceptions, I mean, that's crazy. 12 interceptions is asking a lot from your linebackers, from your safeties, and your corners. But, however, let me pull this up. I think this will stay up, or maybe not. So, here we go. Last year, the leaders in the NFL were the Pittsburgh Steelers, who caused 17 interceptions last year with 16 fumbles. I got the Raiders at 10 fumbles. That's not undoable. That's not out of reach, right? That's not crazy expectations. Or is it? The Minnesota Vikings forced 24 interceptions last year. A defense that people criticize Aiden O'Connell for only scoring 3 points against, right? Or 0 points. Aiden O'Connell scored 0 points. No, the Raiders scored 0 points in that Minnesota game 2 years ago. But that defense was the second most turnover defense in the NFL. Not only that year, but last year also. 24 interceptions caused and 9 fumbles. They have a pretty good defensive front. They have a solid backfield. They have a solid linebacking core. But I feel like ours could be up there with that, right? We have some young guys that are fast, that are going to make plays, that are going to be in the right place at the right time because of the leadership we have in the linebacker, in the linebacker unit. They're going to have these guys right place, right time. The Buffalo Bills followed closely with 32 opponent turnovers, 16 interceptions, and 16 fumbles. The Buffalo Bills? Hold up. You telling me that our Raiders defense is not as good as the Buffalo Bills? Can you really say that? Because of the Buffalo Bills defense, yes, they made it to the playoffs. But look at their offense. That might be a show for tomorrow. We might have to break that down. Which defense was better last year? Because I feel like if the Buffalo Bills with that offense had a Max Crosby and a Malcolm Kuntz and the rest of the guys we got on this team would be in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs every year, probably competing for a Super Bowl. Like, the only reason the Bills haven't been competing for a Super Bowl year after year after year is because they can't stop the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes from scoring points. You know who can stop Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs from scoring points? The Raiders. Look at our average last 3 games. They have scored 20 points on us. So, just saying. Just put that out there. The Green Bay Packers, 17 interceptions, 14 fumble recoveries, 31 turnovers. I got us at what? Wait, hold up. How many turnovers? 10 fumbles, 12 interceptions. I think I need to up those numbers. No, I'm going to stick with those. If we could do that, that gets us way out of the negative minus 16 shit that we were last year. The good thing is we play none of these teams except for this one. Who do you think it is? Let me know in the chat. No, don't let me know because I'm so far behind. Just kidding. Houston Texans. It's going to be a tough game, man. That defense is nasty. I've talked about it over and over again. Will Anderson, that backfield. But even with that backfield, that nasty safety room, that crazy corners that they just keep drafting and bringing in year after year that are starting to grow with that team. 17 interceptions. Oh, wait. Wrong team. 19 interceptions. 10 forced fumbles. Now, I know you're going to say, but damn, Rebel, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Minnesota Vikings, Buffalo, Green Bay, and Houston all had way better defenses than us. Yes, they did, but that was last year. This year, we have a better linebacker coach. We have a different run game coordinator. And nothing against the other coaches, but just more experience-wise. We have a way more experienced cornerback coach, right? We have an experienced running back coach with nasty running backs. So coaching-wise, man, I think the Raiders are... I keep trying to give you all reasons why this team can be good. But just remember, if those reasons don't come to fruition, however the hell you say that shit, don't blame me, bro. Don't blame me. These are all possibilities, right? Possibilities. So, I think I was a little light. on the turnovers. Definitely. Sack-wise, I feel like I'm a lot light, right? 50 sacks. 10 fumbles. Oh, that was from the defensive line, right? Yeah. 10 fumbles and 12 interceptions total. So, man, I think that's a pretty good number. Let's see what y'all think about it. Let me get back to this chat. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to ignore you. I know chat lives matter. If I could find the chat. Where the fuck is the chat? Alright. Oh, good lord. I'm not going... How deep is this? Oh, y'all ain't been talking at all. Damn. That's easy. Sweet. Divine Goddess, salute to the nation. I'm new to the channel. I came over from Hawaiian Candy's channel. She mentioned you know about the Raiders, and I wanted to check it out. Well, I appreciate you dropping by. Let me know before you leave how you like the channel. Do you think I know what I'm talking about? Did she mislead you? Let me know. Let me know. I will be back when the live stream starts to watch the show. Oh, that was way earlier. Nice. So, I hope you're in here. I don't know. I can hear you. I was just playing around. Hope all is well. My guy Greg Brewer, what's good? What's good? New to the channel, Divine Goddess. Yeah, appreciate you pulling up. If you're still here, like I said, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. Rick Rock, what's good, my brother? If y'all got questions for me that y'all want me to answer, I should probably do this first. This gotta be annoying. Son of a bitch. Hold up. Hold up. Damn, I should have saved. I didn't know I was going to be that close. Has it been skipping like this the whole time? That looks like ass. Oh my god, bro. Tony Chef in the building. What's good? What's good? Appreciate you, my guy. Alright, so. Man, that's fucking too. I don't like this full screen at all. Ruiz, what's good, my guy? What's good, my guy? My brother, LV-RaidersRebel. Salute to you, Silver and Black Nation family. What's good? Greg Lira, just checking in. See what's popping. The nation, you know what's popping. You know what's popping. Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree, better be ready in the middle or rotate with Kuntz. DT is a real concern. I'm not as concerned as the rest of y'all. I'm just not. I'm not. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes she takes a second to read the comments. Yeah, if you type the little green tree emoji or a hashtag in front of your questions or replies, then I can get to them without making this chat take forever. Hit those thumbs up, like, subscribe, follow. I'm your host, Raiders Unleashed. If y'all don't know, now you know. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, if this keeps looking like this, I'm going to leave. What the fuck is going on? I can see Isaiah Mal blitzing a lot. And I hope so. I hope so. I hope they blitz him and Jeremy Chin an awful lot. I hope they blitz these corners too, right? When you got speed like Darian Porter and you're running a cover 3, you can afford to send these guys once in a while, man. Nice. I don't know why it's lagging on my side. Big time. Rick, my guy, what's good? What's good? Rose Tam, appreciate you. Furpo in the building. Raiders. All right, let's go. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, Goddess, to the channel. Y'all show some love. Liking it so far. It gets those ads on a little video showing people telling you. Well, Not skipping in sounds great. Nice. Good, good, good. Because my camera keeps just going crazy on me, bro. Crazy. LVR, what's good, my guy? What's good? All right, we are to the bottom of the chat. We can get back into this shit, and I can get off this damn full screen. Because that is horrible. Whew. Way too much up close. All right, man, let's break down this offense. Wait, what the hell? Switch teams. Hold on. It's not it either. Oh my goodness. This one. All right. Shits. All right, offensive wise. Man, I don't know why this is being difficult, and these ads are really pissing me off. Dante Thornton Jr., Colin Johnson, Cedric Jackson, which, man, I heard somebody say today they really think Cedric Jackson has a shot to make this team. If y'all don't know, it's Bo Jackson's nephew. And I would really like to see that. Would really like to see that. I picked him to make the practice squad. You know, he got that nasty speed. He's got those huge long strides like his uncle. And it'd be great just to have another, you know. It's not too many times we get legends family in the building, right? We don't have too many players where their kids play for us or their family members play for us. So I think it'd be cool to have a Cedric Jackson in the building. Let me know how y'all feel about that. All right, so receivers, man. We got Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker, who could be on the trading block. We will talk about that tomorrow. Pull up. Make sure you pull up. You know, I don't talk about trades unless there's a little bit of smoke. Where there's smoke, there could be fire. Chewy's what's good. So, Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers. Then you got Jack Besh, who is still not under contract and could hold out. Tommy Malott. And then somebody is going to take that spot, whether it's going to be Zachary Franklin, whether it's going to be Cedric Jackson, Colin Johnson. My sneaky pick is Katron Jackson Jr. I'm telling you, I like this kid, man. I don't know what it is, but or Keyshawn Smith, right? Kyle Phillips, Alex Bachman. Not all these cats are going to make the team. I gave you my 6. If you missed it, go back and watch it. Or just find out right now, because I guess I'm going to tell you. Touchdown-wise, Dante Thornton. Hold up, let me get this ready. So, Dante Thornton. Let me know in the chat what y'all feel. How many touchdowns do you think Dante Thornton can get as a rookie? How much grass time do you think he's going to get? Is he going to be a threat? Is he going to turn into, you know, the third receiver, the second receiver, or possibly stay, you know, the fourth receiver and be a guy that only comes in when they're trying to stretch the field, right? If they use him like that, I don't think that's the best way, in my opinion. I think this guy needs to get some grass time, right? If he's the fastest dude out there and he's, you know, he's showing flashes already as a 4th round pick, you put this man on the field. And if anybody's going to put him on the field and see what they got, it's Pete Carroll, right? He's talked about it his whole entire career. He's going to push guys. He's going to see what you can do and push you to the brink. So, you know, if you break, you ain't going to be on the team. Shout out to the 14 people watching. Appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, follow. If you're new to the channel, hang around, see if you like this content, and make up your own mind. So out of our 6 receivers, man, I'd like to see Trey Tucker have 5 or 6 touchdowns. What did he have last year? I should have their stats up here. Hold up. That might help me out a little bit. With stats last year really ain't going to matter, right? Because, I mean, it's a different quarterback. It's a different O-line. You actually, finally have a running game. It's been a minute for that, right? Bro, I just ended the ad blocker. What is going on, bro? What the fuck, man? Killing me here, Smalls. You're killing me here. So, let's get it touchdown wise. That's the running back room. Trey Tucker had 3 touchdowns last year. You got to double that. You got to double that. If you want to make this team, if you even have a chance to get in your second contract, that's not going to fly in the NFL. Whether you're a 3rd string receiver, whether you're the 4th string receiver, you got to produce, man, in my opinion. And, you know, we hear Dante Thornton Jr. talk about Trey Tucker, how he's going to break out. We hear a bunch of other 5+ touch for Thornton. Okay. Tucker will have 5 or 6 TDs. All right. We'll get into it. I like it. So, like I said, you got to double that. You got to double that 3 mark. And I got so many damn shit open right here. I don't know what the hell phone I'm grabbing. Trey Tucker. I'm expecting 6. Jacoby Myers had a measly 4 touchdowns last year. Golly, that's sad, bro. How the hell do you have 1,000 yards with 0 drops and only 4 fucking, excuse my language, 4 touchdowns? 4? Could that possibly be why they haven't extended him yet? Is Jacoby Myers really a number 1 receiver with only 4 touchdowns? Let me know in the chat. Do you feel Jacoby Myers is still a number 1 receiver with stats like that? Now, he had 1,027 yards, averaged 11.8 per catch. Longest was 43. He had 16 big plays. That's catches over 10 yards. But he had 5 touchdowns. Let me know what y'all think, because we have a damn good player on the team that had less than that also. So I don't know how much more he could get, really. I mean, your numbers are going to go down for Jacoby Myers with Brock, with Thornton, with Besh, right? Your catches are going to go down. Your attempts are going to go down. I hope your drops don't go down. But your numbers are going to go down for Jacoby Myers. I've already predicted this, and y'all think I'm wrong. I think that's why they haven't signed him, right? Because they're like, man, we're not going to get him the ball like we did last year. He had 129 targets last year. Woo-wee! Did he? Damn! Okay, so that's, 129 targets. You want to see more than 4 touchdowns. You got to see more than 4 touchdowns. You caught the ball 129 times, but we know what the offense was, right? 5-yard dinks, 10-yard comebacks, throw the ball in the backfield. It was nasty work, nasty work. So Jacoby Myers, I think they're going to unleash the beast this year. And I'm going to give him 6. Because, like, damn, I don't know how much you can unleash this dude. I'd like to see 8 or 10 touchdowns from Jacoby Myers, and I think that's doable. I think it's very doable. And don't worry, we're going to get into the touchdown leaders last year and see where they compare. Not all of them. We're just going to look at number 1 receivers, right? Because the question, we'll do that tomorrow. The question is Jacoby a number 1? So we're going to break down the stats. See how many the number 1 receiver had, how many attempts they had, right? And compare them to Jacoby Myers. And then let the nation decide Do you pay this man $20+ million a season? And for how many years with the guys we've drafted? You drafted 2 receivers this year. Very high, very high. So, contract year for Jacoby, man. He had 4. You know what? I don't think that's a number. I'm going to give him 8. I still think even with the guys we brought in, that's going to be Geno's target, right? When you have a guy that doesn't drop the ball, I don't care. You're throwing him the ball, right? Any chance you get. If your first look ain't open, your second look ain't open, you're coming back to Jacoby and forcing it in there because more times than not, he's going to catch it. Him and Brock Bowers both. So, I'm gonna give him 8. I'm gonna give him 8 touchdowns. Fuck, that's already 14. Geno only had 21 last year. I can't give him that, bro. There's no way. I'm gonna go Trey Tucker. He had what? 4 last year? I'm gonna give him 5. Actually, I don't even think he gets. I'm gonna go with 4. I don't think he has. I'm sorry. I just think there's too many weapons. Now, you could be that chance that he outruns people and Geno's accuracy throws over the top could open him up a little bit more. But man, I just don't see him being a main target with all these weapons. And we're gonna run the hell out of the ball. So I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna have to go 6 with Jacoby Myers. I mean, that's 2 more than he had last year. And right, baby steps. What do we say on what does Patrick Graham say all the time? 1% every day, right? So baby steps. Next, the third guy is going to be Dante. How many touchdowns do y'all feel? I already seen one. Where'd he go? My guy said, LVR said 8 touchdowns for Jacoby. It's wild. That's a lot. I'd like to see that too. I had him at 8, but I had to knock it down, man. Where the hell did Tony Chef go? Oh, 5+ for Thornton. 5+. You know, I feel like Dante Thornton is going to be the main target, right? His height. I mean, besides Jacoby and Brock, which we'll get to Brock and the tight ends here in a minute. But I feel Dante Thornton is going to be a huge target if, and this is a big if, he can make the catches, right? You got to make the catches. You can't drop balls at 6'5" with that speed. You can't have balls deflected. You can't have guys taking balls away from you. Those have to be your balls, right? You got to come down with your shit. I'm going to give Dante... Jeez Louise, this is going to be rough, bro. I'm going to give Dante 5. I think he has 1 less than Jacoby, 1 more than Trey Tucker. And the reason has to be these other receivers, right? I think Jack Besh is going to be that goal line threat, that goal line target. And I feel like, 5 or 6 touchdowns is good for him as a rookie. I'm going to give him 5, bro. I'm going to give him 5. That's our 4 receivers. Who was the other 2? Tommy Malott. Touchdown, Tommy T. Tommy touchdown. Man, I'm going to give him 2 touchdowns. I think he's going to get in the end zone. I think he's going to make an impact. Unlike Christian Wilkerson, who we had on the team for, 2 years, who had 1 or 2 touchdowns. I think Tommy Malott, with his speed, his athleticism, his ability to break tackles, he's a better runner than he is a passer. So that's why he's a receiver, right? And special teams. I think, being on special teams, he's going to have... he's going to have a lot more reps on special team. But I see him getting involved, right? I'd like to see Tommy T have 2 touchdowns. Might be high expectations. And then our 5th receiver, I don't know who it's going to be. So, I'm just going to guess and say he doesn't get a lot of touches, man. I'm going to give him 2. It's going to be the mystery guy. I'm going to give him 2. Give him 2. Give him 2. All right, so we got tight ends, man. Bowers and Big Mike. Sorry, I'm trying to write all this shit down and keep track on my phone as we go because I forgot to grab a damn pen and paper, which is so much faster. I guess I could voice talk to it, but then y'all think I'm talking to you. So, tight end wise, Brock to the Bowers, Michael Mayer, Ian Thomas. Is it going to be Runyon Carter? Is it going to be Pat Conway? I don't think so. Justin Shorter. He did pretty well last year. I don't, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But if we keep 4, I think it should be Carter Runyon. That would be my pick. But I don't think that's who it's going to be. I think it's going to be more like Quadre Ismail. But Justin Shorter kind of fits that bill for, the way Chip Kelly likes to use those bigger dudes. He's a tight end who formerly played receiver. I think you can use him in many ways. So Brock Bowers, fucking ramble on, Rebel. Where are the tight ends at? So Brock Bowers had... Where the hell is Brock Bowers? What the fuck? Is this 2023? Shut up. No, it's got Gardner Minshew. Where the hell is Brock Bowers? Oh, he's at the top. My bad. Duh. So, Mr. Bowers, right? Our weapon for many, many years to come, had 5 measly touchdowns. And I say measly because when you got a guy like Brock Bowers and you don't use this man constantly in the red zone and you're running the flipping ball on 1 and 2 yard line and fumbling, it's bad coaching, man. It was just bad game planning, bad coaching all around. Chip Kelly is going to use Brock Bowers like he should be used, and I see this man just dominating this year. And I'm gonna give him 10 touchdowns, bro. I think he doubles this year because I think his production goes down. I think his yards go down per catch. Not yards per catch, but I think his attempts go down. So I think his yards go down this year. I still think he has over 1,000 yards, but I don't think he has, a better year than what he had last year, like a lot of people are expecting. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I think that's going to be a main target, like I said, in the red zone. Big Mike. Fucking stay open, bro. Big Mike had 0 touchdowns last year with 156 yards on 32 targets. I'm going to give Big Mike Mayer 2 touchdowns. And I say he has over 500 yards this year. Write it down. And then, the backup tight ends, I don't see them being used in the red zone. Maybe as a decoy, they might get lucky, get 1 or 2. I just don't see it. So let's go. So far, we have 10, 20, 36 touchdowns. Can Geno throw 36 touchdowns? The best in his career has been 33. I don't think that's a lot to ask. But don't forget, we still got the running backs. We still got the running backs. We got Ashton Genty. Why isn't it on the running backs? There we go. No, that's not the right fucking list. My bad, y'all. My bad. So we got Ashton Genty, of course, 6th round pick overall. Then we got Raheem Mostert. Is it gonna be Sincere McCormick? Is it gonna be Zamir White? I feel like it's Zamir White. So Ashton Genty, this is receiving touchdowns, not on the ground. Actually, we're gonna have to do both. We're gonna have to do both. So Ashton Genty, I feel last year. Let's get into that first because this is hilarious. Last year we had a total fucking. I want to beat my head into this mic, dude. Oh God, that shit makes me want to cry. So the Las Vegas Raiders, rushing wise, had a total. Can anybody guess? Don't look it up. Just guess. Come on, guess. Daryl, what's good, my guy? Azeen, appreciate you being in the building. I'll get back to the chat in a second. Come on, somebody just guess. How many touchdowns rushing did the Las Vegas Raiders have last year? It's fucking horrible, dude. It's 10, man. It's 10. Only 10. Only 10. 10 rushing touchdowns all year. I predicted our defense to have more fumble recoveries and more forced fumbles than that. 10? 10? Golly, bro. Jack Kenneth says. What does Jack Kenneth say? Genty, 1 to 2 touchdowns receiving, 8 to 10 on the ground. Our leading touchdown last year was Madison with 4. If Matty could get 4, Genty gets 12. I'm going to say 12. I'm going to say 2 receiving. Actually, I don't know. Josh Jacobs has still never had a receiving touchdown in his career. But they don't throw the ball to him very much. So, these fucking ads, bro, are killing me. I'm going to say 12 touchdowns on the ground. 2 receiving. Go back. For Raheem Mostert, I'm going to say he gets 6 on the ground and 5 receiving. Zamir White. How many did he have last year? 1? Stop playing. Hold on. He had 1 touchdown last year. Man, if he makes this team, it's a if, I'm going to give him 4 and 0 receiving. I don't think they throw to him out of the backfield. Sincere McCormick, if he makes this team, I don't know, man. I don't know if he scores. They can't use him at goal line situation. He's not big enough or fast enough. I don't think you take the ball out of Ashton Genty or Raheem Mostert's hands for a Sincere McCormick. The only reason I'm giving Zamir White 4 is because he's the thicker of the 4 or 5 running backs. He's got the most strength, and I think they're going to try to, open up holes and use him inside the red zone. That's my opinion. So Sincere McCormick, I'm going to say he doesn't have any touchdowns. But if he's on the team, I say he contributes. And I will give him 1 receiving touchdown because if he does score, I think it'll be him receiving out of the backfield. And just for shits and giggles, let's go Dylan Labe because I'm not leaving out Dylan Labe. I think he's going to make this team as a kick returner. If y'all didn't see the post I posted on X, go watch the 59-yard return from Dylan Labe against the Broncos last year. I believe it's plays like that. We haven't had anybody have a 59-yard return. Y'all let me know in the chat. Who was it? Who was the last time we had over a 50-yard run by a kickoff or a punt returner? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Dylan Labe, I say, has 0 touchdowns on the ground But I say 2 or 3 receiving. Because I feel like they're going to use this kid in the backfield. I keep telling y'all he has the best hands out of the backfield. And, you know, besides maybe 2 guys, probably the whole receiving core. So, Dylan Labe can catch. He's got to hold on to it once he does. So, I'd like to see 2 or 3 out of him. And that puts Geno Smith. We won't go with the other ifs. We won't go with the other ifs. Another 7 in the air. What did I say total was? 36? That's 42 touchdowns. Geno Smith, if you're the 5th best quarterback in the NFL or even 10th, that should be your number, bro. That should be your number. In the 40s, touchdown range. Because I hear all this talk, right? Over and over and over again. And I heard it in 3 lives today that I popped in a couple minutes, and there was already people saying the Raiders are going to do this because Geno's back. If he has these numbers, then I will say those words out of my mouth. But until then, you will not hear me say Geno is a top 5 or a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. You're not going to hear me say that. It's not a top 10, even a top 15. We've broke these numbers down before on this show. I've shown you all the proof. A top 15 quarterback in the NFL does not have 50-plus sacks. And don't give me an excuse about your offensive line. Look at the offensive line for the Bengals. Look at the offensive line for the Bills. I'm just saying. Look at the offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs last year and how much Patrick Mahomes ran around. So if you're putting them in the top 5, you got to be in that list. None of those dudes had over, I think, 15 sacks. None of them. Geno Smith had 50 plus. He also had 24 turnovers to 21 touchdowns. That doesn't put you in the top 15. You'd be lucky if, like Phil Simms says, it puts you in 23 or 24 in the NFL. Now, until he shows me wrong, that's, that's where I'm sitting at. So, if you got 40 touchdowns, 40 plus, like I said, that's with not a lot of guys eating. Let's go over it. Trey Tucker, 4 touchdowns. Jacoby Myers, 6 touchdowns. Y'all had him higher. Dante Thornton Jr., I had him at 5 touchdowns. Y'all had him at higher. The ones that commented and participated. Shout out to y'all. You my real ones. I appreciate y'all. Jack Beck. I didn't see anybody comment. If I did, I missed it. I had him at 5. I don't know where y'all at. Touchdown Tommy. I had him at 2. Brock Bowers. I have the highest on this list, which it'd be crazy if he has 10 touchdowns. But I feel he can do it. There's been many tight ends that have 10 touchdowns in a year that didn't have the numbers he had because they used them wisely in the red zone. So, 10 for Bowers. Michael Mayer, 2. Ashton Genty, 2 receiving. Raheem Mostert, 5 receiving. And I didn't even count Zamir White, who I had, possibly 3 or 4 if he makes this roster. I didn't count Cecile McCormick's 1 or 2 or 3, or Dylan Labe's, 1, 2, or 3. I didn't even count those bottom 3. And he's still at 42 touchdowns. That's what the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL have. And that's what you need to have to be a top 5 quarterback or even a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Those are my numbers. That's what I expect from these cats. Now, let's get into the running back room. Rushing wise. I don't know why I have these up here. I already did that. So I have Ashton Genty, 12 on the ground. I have Raheem Mostert, 5 or 6 on the ground. I'll go with the higher. I'm going to go 6. In Zamir White, I had 4. That's 24 rushing touchdowns. What was the NFL average last year? Hold up, I gotta pull it up. Gotta pull it up, gotta pull it up. Teams rushing touchdowns 2024. Oh. It's cool with leading teams. That'd probably be better. See what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. The Detroit Lions rushed for 29 touchdowns. The Philadelphia Eagles rushed for 29 touchdowns on the ground. The Washington Commanders rushed for 25 tutties on the ground. Come on, y'all ain't gonna give me more than that? All right, that's all we need to know. We'll go with those three. I guess no. I gotta find out more. Come on, top three. That's all I get. But anyways, those three teams made the playoffs, right? Those three teams. Well, I mean, the Washington Commanders, they have a decent running back, but that was, a lot of that I think was contributed to JD5 and his ability, right, to make guys have to stay in the pocket, to make you have to spy the quarterback. And I think that's why, those guys ate last year. So 29 touchdowns was the highest. That's with Jahmyr Gibbs. That's with, why the hell do I always, David Montgomery, but he missed a pretty significant amount last year being hurt. So Jahmyr Gibbs had most of the load and had 29 rushing touchdowns. I have us at what? 24, and that's not counting receivers. I believe, there's going to be a lot of jet sweeps. There's going to be some reverses. There's going to be some double reverses, I feel, with the speedver. So, look for some of those touchdowns on the ground also. But that's where I got us, 24 touchdowns on the ground. And that would put us like 12th in the NFL or lower. Hold on. Let me make sure. Rushing touchdown leaders. I always got to double check with all these stupid sites because you never know. All right, so ESPN says, they saying nothing. They're taking forever. Good Lord, how long does it take to load? Shit. Damn. All right, so touchdown leaders separately, individually last year. Saquon Barkley, 13. Derrick Henry, 16. Bijan Robinson, 14. Jonathan Taylor, 11. Jahmyr Gibbs with 16. Josh Jacobs with 15. The Rams, Kyron Williams with 14. Chuba Hubbard with 10. James Cook with 16. Joe Milton with 11. And I only got Ashton Genty at 12. David Montgomery with 12. Missed most of the season. Or not most of, but a lot. Jalen Hurts with 14. Whew. That's big numbers. Josh Allen with 12. Okay, Josh Allen with 12. I forgot one thing. How many rushing touchdowns will Geno Smith have this year? Let me know in the chat. I'm about to get right back to it here in a second. Right now. Let me end this. I don't think we need any more talks on that shit. Right? Right? We got our predictions. We got who's going to do what. Let me try to catch back up to y'all in the... Oh, I didn't star anything. Son of a bitch. Alright, so way up there somewhere when LVR came in. Alright, won't let me go that far back. I apologize, y'all. 5+ from Thornton we got. My guy says Tucker will have 500 to 600 yards, 5 or 6 touchdowns. Will not play slot. Thornton outside opposite Jack. Will not play in the slot, huh? Alright. I mean, that's a hot take right there. That's a hot take. You're going to put that man on the outside? I'm not. Not until he shows me something. Not until he shows me something. You ain't going to be my number 1 or number 2 outside, you know. Which would I guess, move their number 1 corner into the slot if you got Jacoby there. Or, you know, Brock Bowers there. Could help. Whoever the quarterback is in a Kelly offense should have at least 25 to 30 touchdowns minimum with the weapons we have. Well, I got him at 40. I got him at 40. So I hope so. Jacoby 8 to 10. Rosetown in the building. What's good? I feel we relied on a lot of Brock Bowers last season. Jacoby eats this season. Double to triple that? Man, if I double to triple that, that puts Geno at 50 touchdowns. I can't do that. I can't do that. Offense couldn't stay on the field last season. That's a damn good point, Chef. But there was reasons for that. There were a lot of reasons for that. Quarterback play was the biggest reason for that. If you can't run the ball, you're not going to win the clock, you know, time of possession. You have to run the ball in the NFL to win time of possession. You have to give, you know, your offense as many snaps as they possibly get. And we couldn't pick up first downs last year. We were horrible. We were one of the worst teams in the NFL when it came to first downs. We went 3 and out. I think 5th or 6th, you know, best, worst, however you want to call it. We were the 6th worst team when it comes to 3 and outs. That's why you can't stay on a team. So, yes, we have to fix that, and I think that's what Ashton Jeanty does. He stretches the field. He keeps you know, defenses from stacking the box. Whether, you know, everybody wants to say they weren't stacking the box last year. Nah, bro, they were disguising it. But if you watch the ball, you know, if you watch the defense after the ball was snapped, everybody was coming. That didn't sound right. So, yeah. Chiefs facts. Contract year for Jacoby Myers. I see a lot of slot. I see a lot coming his way this season. I mean, that, like I talked about, right? That should be the goal for Geno Smith, right? That should be your number 1 purpose, is to try to make sure Jacoby Myers gets that, you know, gets that bag and gets that contract extension. Like I said, if I was a quarterback, son of a bitch, I did it again. Fucking green screen. If I was a quarterback, you know, I'd be trying to get my guy paid, right? Especially a guy that has 0 drops. That's the dude I want to throw the ball to. That's the dude I'm trying to get paid. So, you know, I hope to see that. But you got to look at the fact that Dante Thornton is going to stretch the field. And if he can get open, Geno's going to throw him the ball. I guarantee you. Geno's not afraid to throw the ball downfield. You know, we hear all the accuracy about the deep ball. He's going to throw the ball downfield. Thornton just has to get open. I can see 400-plus passes by our quarterback. Talk that shit. Jacoby had 8 touchdowns opposite Adams 2003 with 106 targets on 71 receptions. That's all facts. That's all facts, LVR. But you have to realize we have more weapons now. We had Jacoby Myers, right? We had We had Michael Mayer, and we had Devontae Adams. Who else did we have to throw the ball to? DJ Turner. That was it, right? Christian Wilkerson. Like, we didn't have any threats. Though there was nobody that any of these quarterbacks were willing to, risk trying to get the ball to. So yes, he did have that, but I just don't see it. I think that was might be the best production of his career, 8 touchdowns. Unless he gets traded and goes somewhere else, right? But then if you go somewhere else, you're more than likely going to be the number 2 guy. And we'll break that down tomorrow. What the number 1, 2, the number 1 and the number 2 guy, 2 guys got for each team, right? We'll break down all the teams tomorrow. So make sure you pull up for that. I'd like to see Myers and Miller re-signed by week 5. I would too. I would like to see them, both signed before we start the season, so they're, focused on football. You don't want guys going into the season having to worry about their family, not like he needs the money, but you know what I mean? Having to worry about whether you're moving, are they going to pay you? Are you going to get injured and, miss an entire season where you don't get paid for it because you got no guaranteed money? You gotta get that shit done. You gotta get it done before the season starts. Gino ain't the quarterback if he plays like he did last year. Aiden will be the quarterback. If that's the case, our quarterback needs to have 25 to 30 touchdowns passing minimum for Kelly's play action system. And minimum. I'm thinking 30 minimum. Whether it's Aiden, whether it's Gino, whether it's Cam flipping Miller. When you got guys you can throw the ball to on a 5-yard out or a 5-yard slant or a comeback route that can take you to 80 yards, you got to have more than that, bro. You got to have more than that. Yeah, and Kelly is going to run a lot of spread offense because he has the weapons, definitely. Dante Thornton is not short. He's standing at 6'5". He can snatch it out of the air with DBs, get a chance to reach it. I know he's not short. Who said he was short? Who leads the NFL in touchdown passes? How many? That will have to be tomorrow. We will break that down tomorrow. Make sure you pull up. We will break down first and second, how many touchdowns they had, so we can kind of get a better, in-depth look that, what having a quarterback and a running game brings to your receiver core, right? We'll look at the teams, who their running backs are. We'll break all that shit down tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. I've seen Thornton make catches between 2 defenders with one hanging off of him in college. I have too. I've seen the exact same play. I know what you're talking about. However, it's the NFL. All these guys are the elite of the elite, right? In college, 90% of those guys don't even make the NFL. That's on the teams he's playing against, right? So these are guys that have already made it, already done that, established, players in the NFL. It's a big difference. The talent is 10 times better. The speed, the strength, the awareness, the studying, all that shit. So yes, he did it in college, but I don't know if he's going to do it in the NFL. He's kind of light, right? He's like, 190 pounds soaking wet for 6'5"? Bro, that's chicken size. That's chicken legs, right? You got to pack on muscle. And if he can get that, DK Metcalf workout going, this dude could be nasty. If you get that strength where that first shove just puts DBs, 2-3 steps backwards, backpedaling, this is going to create so much separation from this dude. It's going to be ridiculous. Jack Beck can also run block. He will be. He had an unbelievable 81%. Exactly. Which is going to open up a lot of touchdowns in the red zone. I mean, I've talked about this I don't know how many times on this channel, and it should give people, a lot more hope in how good this team could possibly be, right? You got the Silver Surfer. You got the Silver Surfer in the backfield. You got you got Brock Bowers. Come on, Michael Mayer. Like if you run 13 personnel with Brock Bauer, Michael Mayer, and Jack Besh. Come on, man. Come on. Those holes are going to be so big you could drive a damn semi-truck through it. It's going to be easy work for these running backs. And nothing's easy in the NFL. But in 13 personnel, I promise you, it's going to be easy for these cats, dude. It's going to be easy. When you got 8? When you got 8 offensive linemen, and you can't bring everybody. You can't bring everybody. Because Gino's sneaky and he's quick and he can read defenses. And if you're starting to bring people in, you don't think they're going to change the play, from a running play to a quick slant to Dante Thornton or, a little quick out to Brock Bowers, who nobody can tackle. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. Dante Thornton is going to be a reliable target on the field for AOC. Yes. I love it. He was good in college as well. To be going with AOC, right? I believe AOC plays this year. It's not going to be how we want him to play, right? At least I hope. I really do. I'm pulling for Gino. I know it doesn't sound like it because I've been giving everybody on this praise, on this team, nothing but praise, except for Gino. But that's the most important position in the NFL. And from what he's shown me in the NFL, I just don't have faith or trust in that. And you're going to have to earn that shit for me. But I feel like it's the NFL, man. And whether, we've seen Aiden with a little knee bruise, with a thumb injury, shit like that happens in the NFL. You don't even have to get tackled to get hurt, right? You could be throwing the ball and hit somebody's helmet. So, injuries happen. And I feel like if Aiden does get in the game, it could be lights out for some people. He's never had these weapons. He's never had an offense. And when he has a running game over 100 yards, the man should be 7-1, but 7-0, but he's 6-1. So you know what it is. Brock Bowers is good. Is a good tight end out of Georgia. He can block. He can run routes, catch the ball. A good tight end. Brock Bowers is special, bro. He's special. Shit, Gina gonna have 40 passing touchdowns. Come on, Chef, don't do that to me. Don't do. He should. Look, he should. Because I feel like, and let me know in the comments. I feel like my touchdown, predictions for some of these guys were a little lenient, and I was, trying to take my Raiders blinders off. And it still feels like a little light. And it's at 40. So, I mean, it is what it is. Gino missed a lot of passes. Gardner missed a lot of passes. And receivers could have had more touchdowns. Jacoby Myers should get back to 2023 form where he had 8 touchdowns. How he has opposite. Adams, Bowers will have 8 to 10. That's asking a lot from Gino. It's asking a lot. And again, like he just said, don't forget Michael Mayer, dude. Michael Mayer is going to be a big part of this team. Michael Mayer will have 300 to 500 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. I'm here for it. Again, if y'all could hashtag before your comments you want me to read, then I know you're not talking to each other, and this shit will go a lot faster. Genty 1 to 2 receiving, 8 to 10. I read that already. I think we're almost caught up. Raiders didn't have a lot of rushing yards. They didn't have a lot of rushing anything. Touchdowns, rushing yards. They had a lot of minus rushing yards on a lot of plays, which really hurt their rushing total. Packers had more rushing touchdowns. Gladdy Raider, what's good? We have to start out the gates fast. We got to have 3 wins in our first 5 games. That's doable. That's doable. I really see that. You know, somebody asked me a question earlier today. What is our prediction in what is our record in the first 4 games? I said 4-0. I mean, I was stretching a little bit because I think the Commanders are going to be, you know, could be trouble, but they could also digress, right? Look at the NFL. When teams don't stay together, when you have trouble in the building, like Terry McLaurin wanting that contract, the Commanders not wanting to give it to him. They lost a couple players like Jeremy Chin, guys that meant a lot to that defense, right? Those dudes aren't easy to replace. The chemistry is not easy to replace. And just because you made it to the NFC Championship, you know, game, the 49ers made it to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and look where they were the next year with a way more talented roster, I believe, than the Commanders. So, just saying, just putting that out there. Their backfields weren't any good. Ashton Genty is a Raider. Gonna fix that 100%. I'm gonna skip some of these because, man, I don't know if y'all talking to me or talking to each other. Dwayne Harris, 99-yard touchdown return. What year was that? What year was that? That's the last touchdown we've had over 50 yards? I mean, that was the last kickoff we had over 50 yards, our punt return? Because my answer was way off. Way off. Do you rock with Daryl? Who, me? Yeah, I fuck with him. He always got pretty good comments. It sucks not being in the playoff picture. They want to be on a big stage holding the Lombardi Trophy. I mean, who doesn't? But that could be a little bit away. Oh, it was an 81-yard return by McAllister. Unfortunately, he couldn't do that in the regular season. He got crushed. That was in the preseason, McAllister? See, that's who I was thinking, but I thought it was like 60-something yards. Shout out to my guy Rosetown for bringing the facts. Appreciate you, my brother. So it wasn't that long ago. I was thinking it was years ago, but anyways, we haven't had many, and Dylan Labe brings a threat, you know, that we haven't had, and so does Malat. Yeah, we don't care what team you root for, man. Y'all got a fire-ass team over there, too. You stacking up the Raiders left and right. Left and right. Jack Kenner, what it do, man? What it do? Geomex in the building. I remember Dwayne Harris, 99 touchdown run. December 24, 2008. Raiders. Shout out to my guy always dropping knowledge on us. I am a fan. That shouldn't matter, right? Nah, bro. It shit don't matter at all to me. And it shouldn't matter to y'all. He's not trolling, right? He's not talking shit to nobody. Dropping knowledge. All kinds of fans go live on chats. There's no boundaries about who walks in and out. Facts. And it's all love over here. Jack Kenna, NFL ref. Man, who was that ref? What was dude's name? I got to get him on my show, bro. Kenna, message me his name. Message me his name and how to get a hold of him, because I had some questions that didn't get answered, and I want to pull them up. And shout out to a fire-ass show tonight, bro. Fire-ass show. That was one of the best shows I think y'all ever did. No disrespect, but it was fire. I mean, the knowledge that he had, you know, the shit he talked about, the fact that he's a Raiders fan and used to be a referee, and some of the shit he brought up, I want to get him on this channel. So, Kenna, help me out, please. Put in a good word. I may not be a Raider fan, but I have some insights about whose game and who doesn't. Facts. Appreciate you, my guy. Keep dropping knowledge. Keep dropping knowledge on us. You're welcome here anytime. Jameer Gibbs is not that great yet, Rebel. I don't know about that, bro. I feel he's like one of the best, top five. I got him top five, maybe 6 or 7. But man, I like Jameer Gibbs. I think that kid is special, young man, whatever you want to call him. Did you like signing Hobbs? How could he say no to that? I may not wear black and silver, but I train in those colors. Nice. Well, we're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best to turn you into a Raiders fan. All right, y'all just talking back and forth. I don't have to answer all those. Which stars? Trust Raiders, baby. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you popping in. Thought you was gonna have me on the show, man. What the hell? Just fucking with you. Carroll better rub his elbows to Stokes and tell him to play better if he wants to be a Raider. Man, he's gonna have to, he's gonna have to play better. He's gonna have to play better, right? His first season was, his first full season was last year. He played 17 games. The numbers weren't great. He gave up 107 QBR against. I mean, it's not good. It doesn't look good. But here's my thing. I really feel like they know what they have in Ja'Cory Bennett, right? I think they watched enough film. They know what they have in this young man. They're going to continue to put him on the second team to make people think, whatever. So teams don't know what our defense is going to be right out the gate, right? I think it's a smokescreen. I don't think Eric Stokes is going to be the guy. I think it's going to be Ja'Cory Bennett and Darian Porter Jr. I think you put Darian Porter Jr. on one side and you put Ja'Cory Bennett on the other side. And I feel you'd be dumb not to. Now, I know he doesn't have the Pete Carroll size. And if that's the case, then you got to go trade for somebody, because I don't have a lot of faith in Eric Stokes. Now, he could be better in a cover 3, right? That could be the case. He's only got to cover a lot of guys for 5 or 10 yards, and then you're passing them up to a safety, right? Or if they're going inside, you're passing them to a linebacker. And then you're coming up trying to, tackle a running back or cover a running back out of the backfield or a tight end, right? So I feel like he can be better, but he's got to prove it. And I think if anybody's going to get the best out of a guy like Eric Stokes, it's going to be Pete Carroll. I mean, come on. And Marcus Robinson, right? We have a damn good quarterback coach. And don't forget about Woods back there also, assistant quarterback coach and, defensive pass game coordinator and shit. So it's going to help these guys. But I really don't see Eric Stokes. I have him making his team. I had him projected as a starter. But the more I think about it, it has to be Ja'Cory Bennett. And I wouldn't mind it if it was, Ja'Cory Bennett, DeCamarion Richardson in the slot, and Darian Porter Jr. I'd be happy with that. Go with the young guys, see what they got, throw them into the fire. If they don't last, then you go with the backups, or you go get somebody. That's how I feel. Geno Smith has led the Raiders. Geno Smith is going to lead the Raiders to the playoffs this year with Pete Carroll as their head coach. That's a tough task, man. You had 3 teams in the AFC West that made it to the playoffs last year. Yeah, shout out to my guy Jay. Violator Show was awesome. If you're still in here. Carroll and Smith have good history between them. Yep, and we've talked about that on the show too. Like, that kind of scares me, because what if Geno's struggling? How long do they stay with a struggling Geno Smith, right? Because if he's throwing turnovers and getting sacked, and it's not the offensive line's fault, right? It's him panicking like Gardner Minshew did, running into sacks, not letting plays develop. If that's the case, how long do you stick with a Geno Smith? It could be the whole entire year, and that could cost us. It could cost us a lot if he struggles. So that relationship scares me. It could be a good thing, but it could turn out to be a fucking nightmare. LOL, not like that to me. I'm filled with awesome knowledge about football. Oh, Jason Downs, what's good, man? If I didn't get you, I'm not bueno. What's good, man? I see you. I'm not that far behind in the chat. I'm not that far. Motherfuckers. Some guys in college just went to the average, and this time I talked for a whole hour and something before I even got into the chat, so yeah, I'm going to be behind. But thank God most of it was gone and I have to read it all. Reb, J. Kenna, Chef, what's good, what's good, what's good? Tony Chef in the building. Gotta go eat dinner. So you probably didn't hear anything I just said. Damn it, Kano, I'm at to message you. Jason Downs, what's good? Alright, I'm almost to the bottom of this bitch. It's gotta be somewhere. That's what he said. Facts, JD, I hope Gino can adapt to the Kelly scheme. I mean, it should be easy money for Geno Smith. This is going to be the best scheme he's ever been in. It's going to give him the best options. You have 12 personnel. We're going to run a lot. 13 personnel. We're going to run a lot. The best running back he's had since he's been since he's been in the NFL. So, lots riding on his shoulders, man. Lots riding on his shoulders. That's all I got to say. What's good, Candy? What's good? Salute to everyone. Packing my bags for a camping trip. Camping in the summertime? That's crazy. Gives his top 5. That's what I said. He has 2,357 yards, 26 touchdowns. Excuse me, 5 receiving in 32 games. With 7 starts, including 16 rushing, 4 receiving touchdowns. Yeah, he's a dog. Bennett may be the nickel if you have Porty and Richardson on the outside to maintain the battle at cornerback 1. I think it's Stokes and Bennett for the nickel. Bennett hasn't even been getting any snaps at all at the nickel position. So unless they're just going to throw him to the wolves in camp when the pads come on and hope it could stick, if they were planning on using him at that position, I think they would have gave him more reps. I would love to see him at the nickel position. I think he can handle it. The only thing is, in a Pete Carroll system, you have to be able to tackle. You have to be able to tackle. Whether it's in the 4-3 base, whether it's in cover 2, or whatever else they decide to throw out there. I don't know what else they're going to, try to use, but I don't see them mixing it up too much. But as a corner, you got to be able to come, or as the nickel guy or the slot guy, you have to be able to come up and tackle. And Jacorian Bennett has to show he can do that. I know he's had the shoulder injury, but you have to show you can tackle. That's been his weakest link. And fortunately for us, it's DeCamarion Richardson's strongest link that I've seen so far. Richardson and likely Porter will most likely play outside because of the height and size. I mean, Eric Stokes is the same height as DeCamarion Richardson. But I don't know. Rebel so far running the high. He's still catching up from yesterday's stream. Fuck you, Bueno. Fuck you, bro. I forgot about Darian Porter being a Raider. He's a tall QB. Yeah, 6'5", bro. 6'5". 6'5". And he runs a 4-3 flat. Flat. 4-3 flat. That's cooking. That's cooking. or 6'4", I think he is. The quarterback will determine in training camp unless, however, the starter is bad during the season and gets benched, but the quarterback battle starts on the 22nd when we report to camp. I don't think there's a quarterback battle, man. I'm going to be honest with you. This is Geno's job. Geno knows it's his job. And the only way it's not Geno's job is if somebody hits him in camp when they shouldn't be, or he smacks his hand on a helmet throwing a ball. This is Geno's job. And no matter how shitty he is in camp, if he is shitty, how many turnovers he has, how many fumbles he has, Pete Carroll's still going to go with Geno. I know you love Aiden O'Connell like I do, and you feel the same way about Aiden O'Connell. But being 100% honest and transparent, there's no way Aiden takes this job from Geno Smith with his mobility. Geno could have double the turnovers and half the touchdowns as Aiden O'Connell all through camp and all through the preseason, and he's still going to be the starter. It's going to take a catastrophe to even say there's some kind of battle, right? There's no battle. This is his job. He knows it's his job. He's going in there, and I know Pete Carroll and Spytek has said they want competition at every single position. They're going to have that. You're going to have competition, but it's not a battle. They just want him to compete. Ronnie Grannon, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you on the show. First time seeing you. Welcome. Shout out to all the people on Facebook, man. I forgot about the damn Facebook thing. If you're over on Facebook and you want to join the fun, where your comments and you can talk to everybody else where they can see you. If anybody's over there, hop over to the tube. Raiders Unleashed. Like, subscribe, follow. If you want to become a member to the channel. Become a member to the channel. Fuck. Josh Jacobs wasn't even the best running back on the squad in Alabama, but balled out in the NFL. That's 100% facts, my guy. And that just goes to show what a head coach and an offensive coordinator that knows how to build a system around what they have can do in the NFL. LOL, clap. It was a clap foot. That was why Jack Jones was released. He can't tackle 100%. He could not tackle in the backfield. We've seen all those business decisions. How was Chip Kelly when he was a coordinator? What? How was Chip Kelly when he was coordinator at Class? Question. Was their offense solid? I don't know what Class means. I don't know. Oh, UCLA? Yeah, bro. Chip Kelly's offense has been good everywhere he went. He had, what the fuck? Who was his running backs? Why can I not think? Bro, he had 2 elite running backs. Why are they not coming to my mind? I cannot believe this. Brain fart. Somebody let me know who was the running backs for Chip Kelly at UCLA. But yeah, man, he's always had a dominant running game. And we talked about it last night. I don't know if he was in here or not, Bueno. But I talked about it last night. Chip Kelly took over an Eagles team that was 2-14. The next year, 10-6. LaShawn McCoy had 1,600 yards on the ground. Over 2,000 total yards. Is Ashton Jeanty LaShawn McCoy? I'll let y'all answer that question. Geno is 110% better than Aiden, but Aiden is the best backup in the league. I have to disagree with you, my guy. I have to disagree with you. Geno is a better rushing quarterback, but Aiden O'Connell's never taken 50 sacks in the NFL. If you put the 2 years he's had together, it equals 20 games. He still don't have 50 sacks. Matter of fact, it's barely over half. Our O-line was rough. It was horrible last year with no running game. So to say that Geno Smith is 110% better than Aiden O'Connell, I'm gonna have to argue that all day long. Aiden O'Connell, when he came into the league, in his 17 starts, has 22 touchdowns. Or 24 touchdowns? 22 or 24? To 12 interceptions. That's a pretty good number. Gino's first 5, 6, 7, 8 years in the league wasn't even close. So, Aiden just doesn't get a chance, man. He hasn't got a chance. The kid's been done dirty, whether you believe it or not. Like, the kid has, people say he has chance. Oh, he had his opportunity. Opportunity on what? A shitty coach team? A shitty offensive team? A shitty offensive coordinator coach team in Luke Getsy? He had his chance with what? Bo Hardigree, a dude that's never ever been a coach in the NFL besides a quarterback coach, running the offense in the NFL. And Aiden O'Connell still put up 4 touchdowns in the first half against the Chargers. Come on, man. When has Gino ever threw 4 touchdowns in the first half of a game in his career? Look it up. Look it up. So, 110% better? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Rosetown in the building with the 199. Hit that blinker, brother. Fuck, I'm behind. Wait. Why does that taste so bad? I don't know what happened to that thing. Well, man, shout out to the 199 supporting the channel. 199, oh so fine for the blinker. Make me feel good. I love it. Unleashing Raider with the $2 drop. Appreciate you in the building. Peer character turning around, having his hand says, "Hey you," while lowering his glasses. Who did what? I don't get it. But shout out for the $2. Did Chip have a running back? Have that running back Carbonet at UCLA? No, he's pretty young in the NFL. He's pretty young in the NFL. Did anybody drop his running backs at UCLA? Didn't Coach Kelly have trouble in Frisco? In the NFL? Good question, Frank. Let's look that up. I don't believe so. Chip to the Kelly. Oh shit! Eee, that hurts. Let me pull it up. Chip Kelly record stats. Nah, I was gonna say you had me confused, bro. So in San Francisco, 2016. Whew, they were 2-14. All right, let me pull up Chip Kelly, San Francisco 49ers, because that's not giving me all the stats. I need better stats. But we'll break down the offense. Shout out to everybody in the building rocking with your guy. Chip Kelly, 49ers. All time scores. What? All right, so Chip Kelly's offense, 16 games, one season, they were 2-4. They averaged 309 points per game and 19.3 yards per play. But points against, 480. 480 points a game with 30 yards per play. Is that even possible? That can't be right. Hold up. Wait a minute. All right, what year was that? 2016. All right, there we go. That's what I need. (2016) 49ers stats. Oh, come on. You're not going to work, you stupid voicemail. Jeez Louise. Your voice text shit. 2016 49ers stats. Here we go. Let's break down this offense. How much did they struggle? Aiden didn't play the whole season. Gino played 17 games. You can't compare that sack count. No, I'm saying in his career for Aiden O'Connell. In his career, he's played 20 games. In those 20 games, he's never even had close to 50 sacks. In the 20 games is over 17, right? Over a season. So they had Colin Kaepernick. Had 2,241 yards passing. They had rushing back CJ Hyde. Or who Hyde? Something Hyde? I don't even know who the hell that is. Had 988 yards. He also had 6 touchdowns and 4 fumbles. Good Lord, have mercy. Other running backs. The backup running back had 74 carries for 196 yards. Yeah, Gabert. Is that what you question you asked? Gabert had 40 carries for 173 yards. 1 touchdown. They had 11 touchdowns rushing. 3 of those were Colin Kaepernick. I mean, that's... If we're comparing Ashton Genty to C. Hyde, which I don't even know his name, Carlos Hyde, I don't even know who the hell that is, to be honest with you. I've never even heard that name. I don't know why. But if we're comparing Ashton Genty to Carlos Hyde, or to even Raheem Mostert, I mean, I don't know. Wide receivers, they had Jay Carley, Q Patton, tight end V McDonald, tight end Greg Selleck, wide receiver Tony Smith, Trey Smith, I don't know what kind of Smith, and Rod Streeter. And Rod Streeter had 191 yards. Their leading receiver had 667 yards. So that wasn't a stacked roster, right? And was he the head coach of that or the offensive coordinator? He was the OC, right? So, yeah, they struggled a little bit. But, man, Colin Kaepernick, I mean, I feel this team is way better than that. Way better than that. Chargers, what? Chargers gave up, one of their coach fired. Yes, they did give up. I don't know about that, man. I don't think anybody gives up. You ain't trying to get stomped out there. It's a yoga instructor peer with LV-RaidersRebel Unleashed. Super chat. Why I said it. I don't, I'm still lost. Still lost. Still lost. Hey Rebel, I tried to watch it. Facebook. It's blurry as hell. And we're showing the stats Sounds amazing. Well, damn, that sucks. That's not possible. Something is off. On what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was ahead of YouTube by a second. And I'm caught up to the chat. What's up? See? I'm caught up. How long have I been on here? 2 hours? Good Lord, that's a long time. Alright, man. So, if y'all don't have any more questions, nothing else to say, I gave you my rankings. Right? 50 sacks from this defense. That is my projection. 40 plus touchdowns from the offense in the air. That's a lot. And what I say, another 16 on the ground. High expectations for this team, man. High expectations for this team. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. Sorry for the shit on Facebook. I was behind on chat, and I can't really end it on Facebook in the middle of this live. So, I won't go live on there anymore. If y'all watched over there, and you're still here, if anybody's there, come over to the YouTube. But yeah, man, join us tomorrow. We will break down the leaders in touchdowns, right? For the rest of the NFL, where we stand, how crazy is my predictions for the touchdowns, the fumbles, and the interceptions. Find out tomorrow on Raiders Unleashed. Peace. Much love. Raiders.